How do I get more money? More cheddar cheese, y'all. If you're watching this video, you are looking to attract more abundance in your life. And that's something that we all want. And what does money help us do? Money helps us experience life on a level that is unique because it buys experience, food, gifts. We can take care of the people that we love. We can have things that make us feel good. Now, how do I attract those things and more? And abundance shouldn't just be about money, but this video we're going to focus purely on how to get more of the sweet dollar bills in your bank account. Now, if you're sitting there and you're wondering, how do I get more money? You're likely also looking up stuff like how to make money online and how to do this and how to do that and how to day trade and day trading for dummies. And oh my God, I have this idea, that idea. Now I have like raging ADD. So what winds up happening is I've jumped from idea to idea to idea to idea in my pursuit of finding something that I'm passionate about that also can make me a ton of money. So in the beginning, what I wound up doing is I chased dollars. Now, when you're chasing dollars, but it doesn't make you feel good, you can brute force your way through it. And I occasionally, actually frequently talk about when I had this high paying job and I spent all this time building this career that I really never wanted, but just kind of thought, hey, this is what I need to do to like grow up and get my life together. I made, what would have been like a significant amount of money that I think most people would have a great life on. I wasn't like a billionaire or anything, but it was doing great. I had nice stuff. And I was unhappy because it wasn't in congruency with what I really wanted. And so what ultimately happened was I wound up losing the thing because I wasn't feeling good about it. And then I was just afraid, right? Afraid of losing it, which kind of attracted that to me. So the first thing that you're really going to want to do is stop scheming. I've found things that I can do now that I love that make me money and give me a level of freedom. And that's what I really want, right? What you really want isn't money. You want freedom. You want to feel like your time is your own. You have no limitations on the things that you want. And is it something crazy? Like, do you really want all this crazy stuff? Do you really want like a freaking 300-foot yacht and a helicopter with like a submarine under it that you can like drop into the ocean and like zoot around and whatever? Like, is that what you really want? And if it is what you really want, I want you to have that. I know I don't need that much money. Would that be cool? Sure, and maybe I'll get there eventually, but I'm not worried about it. Because what I'm worried about, and worried is the wrong word, but my intent is to create a life of feeling freedom, feeling joy, and feeling love. Those are the dominant feelings. I think abundance is, in essence, joy, freedom, love, right? I think abundance can envelop all those things. If you're abundant, wealth is in there, right? But I think wealth is it's superfluous because it can mean a lot of things, like wealthy in what? Okay, cool, I have a lot of money, so what are you using all this money for? Like, I ate Taco Bell last night. I don't need $1 billion to eat that, and that makes me feel really good. There are nice restaurants I want to go to, okay? So maybe I do need more money because I want to go to those restaurants more often, or golf, right? So you don't need to know how much you need, but you need to figure out what is it that you really want that really makes you happy, and what are the feelings that you want to feel. Now, literally all you need to do, okay, I want all this money because it'll make me be able to do this thing, and this thing makes me feel this way. And it's probably one of those three buckets, right? Joy, love, freedom. Drop some more emotions in the comments because I'm blanking, and those are like the big three that I always think about. But what are those feelings that you want to feel, right? And so now all you have to do is design a life that allows you to feel those feelings more frequently. What are things that you need to do? So like, I love going to restaurants and eating, and that makes me feel good. So I go to restaurants a lot. I don't love working out, but I like the way that it makes me feel after, so I work out. I'm doing things that make me feel feelings that I always want to feel. And so I've designed a life to make time for that stuff. I like playing video games. Now, that is definitely a weird thing because it's counter, where it can grab a lot of my time, which minds me making me feel bad. So I spend time doing things that I like, but if it's something where I need to moderate it, I'll do it in moderation, right? And I actually used to be a huge golfer, and I actually played recently. I was at a golf tournament over the weekend. I had fun. I had a lot of fun, but when I was really into it and I really, really cared about it, and I talk about when you make something important, it winds up making you feel worse about it or makes it harder to attain. And I'd lived in this existence where I was playing like twice a week and practicing once a week. And I was like really intent on getting really good. So everything that wasn't perfect made me feel bad. And every time I played that I didn't play good, I'd spend like an entire day unhappy. It was counterintuitive, you know, and I'd be like, oh God, I suck. I better buy like new golf clubs. So I wind up spending all this money on golf clubs. And like the whole process was just in this pursuit of this thing. And I had to take a break and step back. So if you have anything in your life like that you love to do, but actually makes you feel bad a good chunk of the time, and it started to make me feel bad a lot of the time because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I hate not being good at things. And I had to take a step back and like stop playing golf for a while. So I didn't play for a few months. And it made me kind of like let that go and not, you know, care as much. So that, you know, months later, then when I played, I was able to just have fun and be free. You know, like, did I play great? I played okay. Would I have loved to have played better? Of course, everyone wants to play better. I mean, there are pro golfers that make mistakes and have bad days, and they're the best in the world. And even monkeys fall from trees. So identify anything in your life that you do a lot that actually makes you feel bad. And you got to get rid of that thing or minimize the amount of doing it, because there's things that we always have to do. Even the guys who run, you know, Amazon and I mean, shit, I bet you Elon Musk does a lot of shit he doesn't want to do. Even people that have these incredible lives do things that, or you think, do things that they don't love to do and don't want to do. And so whatever you can minimize of that stuff, do it. But if you know, there's going to be things you have to do, like you got to go to work right now until you decide what else there is to do, or maybe find a job that's better. Identify the feeling that you want to feel. And I know this whole thing was like how to get dollars. I'm telling you, this is the shit that works. Like when I hit my corporate career salary precipice and I was like more unhappy than I'd ever been, that's when I had this realization that I have to feel good, and that is so important to me. And I think for you and for me as well, I think if you had $1 billion but you were so miserable, would that make you feel good? So I think it's important that you realize the thing that you want is because you think it'll make you feel good. And so you need to do it in a way that makes you feel good, or at least in a way that gives you time to feel good. You know, a lot of people have jobs, maybe they don't love their jobs, but there's parts of their jobs that they like. But if you have a job that pays you well, okay, and you like it enough to stay at it, and I encourage you to find a job that you like. I think jobs are probably the thing for most people. It's the standard path, the standard, like, not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur or have a YouTube channel or like be an actor or have some like unconventional life. I think like 90% of people, the structure that is set in place is actually perfect, and many people are very happy in that structure. And so there's nothing wrong with that. And so if you can have an existence in that structure that's already in place, that blueprint that most people are going down, like do that and have an amazing life. Now, if you want a life alternative to that, I would encourage you to do that as well. So whatever the thing that you can do to make your life a life where you experience the most of the feeling that you want, that you believe money will make you feel, you need to design your life to feel that feeling as much as possible. And the ideas, the synchronicities, the people, the financial abundance will come in like windfalls. Like, I'm not kidding you. Ever since I had the realization when I kind of reached that precipice that I just talked about, I was like making all this money in my corporate job. Wow, I've been chasing money. What am I really chasing? I'm actually chasing a feeling. And this kind of took me like many iterations of me sitting by the window, like depressed in the morning going, God, I'm so tired. I'm so stressed. I'm like, is it worth it? And for a long time, it was worth it. It was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm being compensated really well. And there's a lot of people, and if you're watching right now and you're going, I have that same thought all the time. And I know so many people have that thought, I'm not happy, but I'm getting paid really well for my time, right? So then it's like you're negotiating your happiness. Like, what's your happiness worth? That's when I came to that realization. I'm not chasing money. What does money make me feel? And for me, it was like safety, right? Like, I need a certain amount of money to where I feel safe. I don't want to worry about like going to the grocery store, like if my car breaks down, right? Like how bad does that feel knowing if you're like, oh God, if I get a flat tire, my life's over, you know, like, so money is important for many things, especially for like just a baseline level of security. But ultimately my goal, the peak level goal, like safety is like basic needs, right? But what's the thing that you're gonna have when you have all this dough? it's freedom, right? Or it's experiences, or it's ability to care for others that you love. What would I do with all this XYZ? Or why do I think I want all this money, right? Okay, how would that make me feel? Now, if I had enough money to buy my parents a house, or if I wanted to like take care of some of my like, you know, friends or family that maybe like had like a rough go of it and like help them get back on their feet, whatever that might be, okay, cool. How would that make me feel? That made me feel pretty good, right? Like make me feel great. Like I'm generous, I'm caring. Okay, cool. I want this like flashy car because why do you want that flash? Like, what is that feeling? And like, there's no judgment in the feelings that you want to feel. Like I like having a nice car. I'm a little vain. If a thing that you have makes you feel good and you need money to get that thing, I believe the trappings of success make you feel successful and good. And when you have the trappings of success, and like, I don't have a Rolls Royce, I'm not driving a $100,000 car. I just like to have like a nice car. The trappings of success make you feel good, make you feel successful when you're in them. And I'm in my car a lot. I'm in my home a lot. So I want my things, my spaces I spend my time in to make me feel good. And that will attract more good things, right? So I think it's totally fine to want nice trappings, vehicles, whatever. Like this shirt is like an $8 shirt. So like, I don't get that from clothes. I don't know what it is. It's just my house, my car. How do I want to negotiate my time? Okay, well, I know money is going to give me a lot of time to do whatever I want. So if I had enough money to never work again, how would that feel? And what would I do all day? I know I'd go crazy because I took about a 2-month gap between 2 jobs at one point, and I was just like out of my mind. I did not know what to do with myself. So I'll need to keep busy and always do something. Okay, cool. So what is that thing that I could do all the time that makes me feel good that also could make me money? Think about what the feeling you want. All you need to do, and I know it sounds so dumb, what is the feeling that you want to feel? And you need to spend as much time as you can in the space of that feeling. And here's the not fun part. And this is like my adult self understands this concept, because I used to sit there and go, all right, if I just imagine all the things that I want, I'll get them. All right, cool. I've got a Lambo. All right, cool. I've got a giant crazy house. All right, cool. I have all this success. And then it would get to the part where it was like, oh, well, you got to like do something about it. And I'd be like, no, I just need to like think about it. Like, that's all I need to do, right? So you actually do need to do the work, okay? Now what's going to happen is when you're feeling these good feelings and you're thinking the thoughts, the things that you want, the doors are going to open for you, okay? You just have to walk through it. So the work is more just like, you'll get an inspired thought, okay, cool, go do the thing. You'll see a synchronicity, okay, cool, make sure that you're going to grab it. A person says something, like, you need to do the work. There's a joke that kind of highlights this topic really well. I don't remember where it's from, but it's like one of those like wise sage jokes. So there's this woman who prays every night, and she's at her bedside going, God, I know that you can give me unlimited abundance. You're so powerful. Just give it to me every night. Oh my God, I know you can give me this abundance. You have it all in your power. Just give it to me. And God finally goes, like, at least buy a lottery ticket. Yes, the universe has the power. God has the power to give you whatever you want, but they're not going to hand it to you, vaporize it, because that's not how the laws of the universe work. You cannot vaporize your goals. They require you to use something, some action, some activity that is possible from all sciences. And we all know that there's like quantum physics, and we can get into a whole thing about metaphysics and all that shit. But you have to take an action. That is just how the process works, okay? And I have this thing that I say to myself, as long as I do the minimum, I can get the maximum. As long as I do the minimum, I can get the maximum, okay? Now, there are times when I don't want to do a thing and I put in very little effort, but I know as long as I'm feeling the feelings and thinking the thoughts and at least taking action in some form, it will still manifest it, okay? It'll still come into me, it'll still attract it to me. Now, if you work extra hard, will it come faster? Absolutely. But you don't want to work to the point where it makes you feel bad, okay? So make sure you find that fine balance. And if you love working, there's people that love working. I just listened to a podcast with Jared Leto, and he's like, yeah, I just love to work. And the guy's got a band, he's like an Oscar actor, and he's got all this other stuff that he does. I think he directs now. So if you love to work, great. And just make sure you're working on things that make you feel good, okay? Or making you feel good towards what you want. And remember, there's short-term pain for long-term gain. Okay, so there's not always going to be moments where you feel great, but as long as you remind yourself, I'm on the path to the thing that I want, to feel the feelings that are going to carry me through my life where I have an amazing, abundant, and wealthy existence, you can do short-term pain in order to experience an incredible life, okay? So spend time in joy, spend time in abundance, spend time in love, and attract the things that you want, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like. I'd love for you to drop a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. Peace, love, be good.